Good afternoon. It's been a couple weeks since I've talked to you last, and I thought I'd give you another market update now that our June statistics are out here in Williamson County, and I've also crunched some numbers on our Grassland market here as well. It's this little market that's Franklin, Brentwood, maybe a tad bit of Nashville, Davidson County, but for the most part, we're all talking Williamson County here and the homes zoned for Grassland schools. So what we're seeing year to year is there has been a dramatic drop in the amount of homes that have been sold. I mean, we're talking more than 40% drop from the amount of homes that were sold in June 2019 to June 2020. So we're trailing behind where we were in June 2019 by almost half. But a large part of the reason, as I've been telling you, is because we just don't have enough homes to sell. It's hard to say that you're selling homes if there's just nothing to sell. So that's what we're looking at here. We still have a large amount of buyer inventory that is just not out there. You know, we've got sellers who are afraid to get off the fence. They may be afraid to sell right now. The good news is, though, for any sellers thinking about hitting the market, is that our numbers are trending. We've still got so many more buyers out there than we have the amount of homes for sale. So if you're a seller who's wanting to kind of dip your feet in the water, maybe sell your home, if you're wanting to make a change for your family, you know, maybe get a home that has an office in it, maybe get a home with another bedroom. You've been through the stay home orders and you've realized, you know what, this space just isn't working for me anymore. We've got to do something that is more conducive now to this new normal that we're all faced with. So a lot of people are still out there looking for a home. If you're wanting to buy or sell a home, you can really find a good way to benefit in all of this. Interest rates are still low, so that's good news for buyers, which means it's also good news for sellers because that's a huge buyer incentive right now. Our home prices are staying steady. They're still increasing year over year. And in different Grassland neighborhoods, I've broken this down actually neighborhood by neighborhood on my blog, ericacurry.com. But my most recent June recap, I tell you which neighborhoods have increased in value in the first 6 months of 2020 and how that compares to 2019 in June, the first 6 months of 2019. And you can kind of see neighborhood by neighborhood, maybe what you can expect. There was one neighborhood we had, I believe it's River Landing, where the home values from the first 6 months of 2019 actually dropped going into the first 6 months of 2020. But other than that, our other neighborhoods have had their own little ebbs and flows, and each one has gained value in the first 6 months of 2020 in their own way and in different ways. So I break that all down neighborhood by neighborhood in my blog. But I just kind of wanted to touch base with you really quick to let you know, yes, we are down by more than 40%. But the good news is we're trending upward though. Back in May 2020, we saw that we were trailing behind our home closings by about 48%. We are now a few percent better than that in June, and we're closing the gap as we go month by month by month. I believe Freddie Mac released their national statistics, and their statistics, what they found and what they have said about them is it took us 10 years in our housing market to recover from the Great Recession. Here in this market, nationwide, big picture, it's shaping up to be about 10 weeks for us to make a recovery in our housing market after this COVID crisis. And I know we're not out of the COVID crisis yet, but that's another topic I wanted to talk to you about really quick too, is if you are thinking of selling a home anytime this year, I've been saying this all summer and it's kind of become my mantra because it's just so true, and we're seeing this as our market fluctuates. But if you're thinking of selling a home anytime this year, sooner is better than later. We don't know what's going to happen a month from now. We don't know what's going to happen 2 months from now. We don't know what's going to happen 6 months from now. But what we do know is we're seeing numbers trend in a positive direction. Our May numbers are better than our April numbers. Our April numbers were better than our March numbers. And now here we are looking at our June numbers, which were also better than the month before. This is a good trend, and this gives me a lot of hope. But I can't see with a crystal ball into the future to tell you what it's going to look like 2 months from now, 3 months from now. So if you're thinking of selling anytime soon, I would strike while the iron is hot. Get in while the market is moving, get in while your values are still holding strong, and maybe kind of take it from there. We can have a one-on-one appointment. I can tell you what your home may be worth. I can tell you, what I think at any given moment up until the day we list, and even after we list, what the market's doing, how it's performing, what we can expect, and sort of set those expectations and guide you through this process. You don't have to go it alone. There's no reason to. I know we have to do a lot of things alone these days, but sometimes if you can have an experienced professional in your corner who has been doing this month after month after month and going through this whole COVID situation, the stay-home order, my business partner and I, we're closing 13 sales just in July. We've been doing this throughout this entire stay-home order, this COVID crisis, everything that we're going through. We've been guiding our clients, and we're happy to report that so many of our clients are getting asking price or above asking price, great conditions, no home sale contingencies, the list goes on. So it is still a good place to be if you are in our market right now or wanting to jump in anywhere here in Williamson County. Talking bigger picture in Williamson County beyond our grassland scope here, we're actually seeing even more impressive numbers. We're seeing really that we're just trailing behind by 2% on the amount of closings that we had in June of 2019. We're seeing our home sales prices in Williamson County. I believe the median home price now for residential sales is about $535,000, which is also in a positive trend from where it was in June 2019. So there are some good things, a lot of good signs of hope. And I just kind of wanted to take a moment to share them with you and to reassure you, to help boost your confidence and give you a little bit of a nudge if you're really wanting to do something. Now is better than later. I would go now more than later any day, just because we know the conditions now. We know what's happening in our market right now. We're not as positive about what's going to be happening several weeks from now, several months from now, and farther into the future. I hope this helps you. Reach out to me. Feel free to call, text, email anytime if you have any questions about our market or need any kind of guidance. Have a great weekend.